Okay, it's time to start this crazy stream, crazy unusual stream. If I can click on OBS without... Come on! Alright. Good afternoon everyone! Let me turn on the lights. Here we are on Blender 2.04. Because why not? Couldn't get the PS1 emulator to work, so I can't continue Spyro 2 right now. So I decided, well, instead of not streaming, let's do something different, something special and unusual for once. And I saw yesterday a video of someone trying Blender 1.0 for the IRIX silicon graphics system, and that got me inspired. Why don't I get an older version of Blender myself, since I use Blender. I do use Blender for, making 3D weird sculptures which make absolutely no sense for now. But yeah, I know most of the shortcuts and stuff like that. So why don't I try an older version of it? The ones I always hated. Let's see if they can redeem themselves. Let's see if now that I know how to use Blender, I can actually make something out of this nonsense. Well, I downloaded this and I'm surprised that it runs on Windows 10 right away without having to use any virtual machine. Now there's a render I did. I can't close the render window for some reason. So yeah, let's try to make a scene, or at least let's try to model something very simple. I think I'm gonna go with low poly stuff, and before getting to that, I want to try this program. It's called Karnak. It should show the keystrokes on screen. I don't know if it works, and that would be useful since this version of Blender uses different, well, most of them are the same, but there are a lot of different strokes that different hotkeys. Let's see. I set it up, but it doesn't show up anything. Save. Oh, okay, it's working. Yay! Okay, so this is a free software, by the way. It's called Karnak. I just downloaded it, and doesn't even need to be installed. It's so cool. Anyway, first of all, I have absolutely no idea how to do simple stuff like, edge loops and stuff like that in this older version of Blender. So deal with it, guys. I've never used this ancient software before. I think this is from like 1997, 98. I don't know. It's very old, by the way. Surprisingly, there is still Shift A, which works the same. I can add multiple contextual menus at the same time, as you can see, and with this I can make the software crash, basically. Whoa, what a nice start. Anyway, let's see. Add mesh. There's a plane, there's a cube, a circle, UV sphere, icosphere, cylinder, tube, cone. Now the video I saw yesterday, I saw this guy trying to recreate the classic Blender donut in Blender 1.0, but he had no toroid, so he had to build one of a cylinder, and there is no toroid in the 2.04 either, so I have no idea when it was actually introduced. There is no monkey, there is nothing. So let's go with a cube, and first of all, tab still acts the same. You can enter edit mode and exit edit mode with it. Now to move the camera, it's different, because on Blender 2.8 I made it so I can move the camera by holding down Alt and be able to, click and drag and do this with the right mouse button and with the middle mouse, just like in Cinema 4D, which is the software I used since 2009. And I started using Blender only last year, and I can quickly do simple stuff in this. But here it's different. To pan around, you have to hold down Shift and hold down the middle mouse button, which is a weird combination. To rotate the camera, you just hold down the middle mouse button, and to zoom, you hold down Ctrl, click with the middle mouse button, and slowly go in and out, like as if the camera is on a dolly or something like that. It moves with this acceleration kind of thing, which is different than this, because here doesn't have any acceleration, it just follows the cursor, so quick and immediate. Also, for some reason, Blender 2.04, it looks like it uses this orthographic view. I have no idea how to change it to perspective. It looks orthographic even in the renders here. So yeah, I guess maybe perspective something. Okay. I think I found it. Just have to click here and go into this icon, and it switches to perspective. This is much better. Also, there is this shortcut. I learned a few shortcuts of this in the video I saw yesterday. For example, Z switches between wireframe and shaded, and Shift Z shifts between shaded and rendered, which sometimes works, other times doesn't work. So yeah, this is pretty complex to use, but why not? I think I can make at least, let's see, I'll try to model a simple room, okay? Nothing difficult, just a simple room. Let's see if I can make it. So I made this cube, and with 1 on the numpad, I should be able to go into the front view. Okay, yeah, this is the front view, and I can scale it on. Okay, I can't constrain the scaling on an axis. This might be a problem, because in the modern Blender you can just press S like X, and you can constrain it to an axis like this, or you can just do this. But here you can't. Now, the guy I saw yesterday used S and then pressed N to open a menu, but that was on the IRIX version, on the 1.0. So, okay, never mind. I think this is the same location. Y. Okay, I think I can just do this and grab and snap. Yeah, I can just snap and do this like this. Okay, fine. I can work with this probably. So I'm gonna try to push this over here, and I wanna move this somewhere in between to have like a wall that is not too thick but also not too thin. And let me see, what is this? Why is this over there? Okay, oh god, these shortcuts. Okay, let's make a cube. Not there. Shift C should reset everything. Okay, Shift A, make a cube with a weird angle. Let me try to go into the front view. Make a cube now. Alright, there we go. Nice. And I'll grab these vertices and I'll just do this and this. Okay, now this is what I wanted to do. Now if I grab all of them and I move them to the side. Okay, now it worked. Nice. because sometimes it doesn't pick up the hotkeys. I'm gonna move them here so it sits on the floor, as you can see. Alright, gonna move this up, so let's make this wall a bit tall like this. And now I think I can also duplicate it, so I can make an exact copy of this wall. Try Shift D, maybe like, okay, it's like in the new Blender, you just press Shift D. Now let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's symmetrical to the other side. Nice. Now I can duplicate this. I'm gonna place it in the middle and I can rotate it. And with this I'm gonna make a ceiling. At least I try to make a ceiling. Okay, there is fine. The cool thing is that with this version of Blender and with old 3D modeling software in general, you can make stuff look like the early 2000 games, and I love that kind of look. I also must be very careful because there is no undo here. I'm not kidding, guys, there is no undo here. There's literally no way to undo. And it sounds stupid because it's a very basic thing, but there is none. Okay. B. Select this. Try to move them up. Now B, select this, and I'm gonna move them up as well. Okay, maybe over here. Nice. Now I can just scale this up and make them match these walls. And I'm gonna grab these and these. You have to use the right mouse button to select stuff in this version of Blender, which is super annoying, but this is how it used to be, and this is why I never used Blender before, because selecting with the right mouse button, please, no, absolutely no, there's no way. Maybe I should zoom in a little bit. Where is it? Over there. Okay, fine. I'm gonna box select them so I can select them on both sides. And I'm just gonna place them like this. Making sure they are straight. Alright. Now let's see how this abomination looks like in a 3D view. We made a table, which might be a good starting point for a room, I guess. Okay. We try to fit this in. And this. Okay, now in order to transform this into a room, I must give it more depth. So I'm gonna just grab these and move them in. Oh my god, this is not the proper way to do this. I'm gonna use the top view with the wireframe and orthographic mode, and now I probably can just do this. Nice. Let's see. Okay, yeah, this is starting to look decent. I can just press L and select all of the linked parts, just like in Modern Blender. I don't know why the camera moves like this. It looks super weird. It's like rolling while moving around. Just doesn't look normal at all. It looks very weird. But anyway, try to do this. Okay, now I'm gonna switch back to the front view and orthographic view. Alright. Shift D, G, and make a floor. And let me see. Okay, starting to look more like a box, which is what I was looking for. Still doesn't look quite like a room, but we can make it work. I can probably just duplicate this. No, not that one. I want to duplicate this block here. Okay, and I want to duplicate it, move it, Shift D, duplicate, move it, and I'd like this. Now this will be tricky because I have to rotate it on the Z-axis and I can't just do this. So this will be a bit tricky to do, but let me see. So this is basically to place this, to make the wall that covers this area here, to make this wall. Now I have to rotate this. Well, actually, I can do something different. I can just select this, and this, and press F and fill. Alright. Yeah, this was actually faster to do. Okay. Whoa. Let's grab these, go into front view. Let's make these taller. And let's also make this wider because it looks like it's too narrow. Okay, I think we just built a basic room in Blender 2.04. Yeah, looks like a very basic room. Like I could make this wall too, but we wouldn't be able to put stuff inside. So now I would like to make a little scene. So maybe like a table, a chair, something very simple, and I'm gonna keep them low poly. Now I think I can select this and move it to another layer. I can just change layer like this. Yeah, I don't know how to say. Okay, I can select and Shift M maybe. M. Okay, M to. Okay, why is it glitching like this? Okay, I moved it to the second layer. Now I can probably start and make a simple table. So for the table, I wanna give it a little bit of smoothness, which is something I can't really do. I mean, there is smooth here, but I don't know if it works. So I'm gonna try with the circle. Why do you make it like this? Go on the top view. Orthographic view, please. Alright, there we go. And let's make a circle now. Okay, this will be the base of our leg of the table. So I'm gonna go into the front view. If I could. Okay. And I'm gonna extrude it up like this. Now I'm gonna extrude it a little bit more. I think this is making the program lag, so I'm gonna get rid of this Karnak program. I don't know, it looks like maybe it was the program making it lag, I don't know. Okay, let's see, now it seems to be working much better. Okay, so now I made... No, it's still lagging a little bit. Anyway, now I made this. Gonna move it to the side. Gonna duplicate. Move it to the other side. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. And gonna make a cube. This is so different than what I'm used to for modeling. But it's working, I guess. So I'm gonna just extend this to the sides. And this should pretty much be the base of the table. Let's see how this looks like. Okay, this looks like a very weird. It actually looks decent. Now I just have to select everything, go into the top view maybe, move them over here like 1, 2, 3, 4, and duplicate it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now I'm gonna get rid of this. And I'm just gonna select this and this. And we have a table, guys. I'm surprised I can model with a software that I've never managed to actually use. But apparently now that I know how to use at least the modern version of Blender, looks like I can make stuff with this. So maybe I should give these a little bit of extra thickness. So I can just select these, go into the front view, orthographic front view. Thank you. I had to spam the keys like 50 times because it's lagging for some reason. It wasn't lagging like that when I first tested it earlier. Maybe it's lagging due to OBS, I don't know. Let me see if I have stuff in the background, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna extend this a little bit here. Alright, looks good to me. Looks great. And this cell shading, this looks exactly like the PS1 games, early 2000 PC games as well. Maybe if I click smooth. Smooth, beauty, smooth. I don't know. Oh, I can even subdivide. Extrude, screw, spin up. So maybe if I select everything, I can subdivide, I can smooth. Okay, but smoothing makes some weird stuff. And now I can't undo. Whoops. I screwed up my beautiful model. Oh no. But smoothing does this. I made it look awful. Erase. Alright, let me reset the scene. Let's try to make a simple, a more simple table. Go into Orthographic View, please. I can use this if the keyboard lags. Come on. Alright. There we go. Shift C should okay. Okay, finally. Let's make a very simple simple table this time. Extra low poly, super low poly. Let's go with the easiest, simplest graphics ever. Let's select this, extrude like this. Then I go into the front view. I don't want to keep this this thickness, so I'm gonna just do this. Now looks like I can subdivide, and this is useful. Okay, now it's triangulating for some reason. Oh my god. This is awful to work with. I confirm that the older versions of Blender were like this. I never ever managed to do anything with this, but now I made a simple room, and yeah, I'm so happy with this. I even just built a table, but I accidentally destroyed it. Alright, so I'm gonna try to make it again. Let's go into the top view, orthographic view. If it works. Alright. Let's make a circle. Let's make a circle. Alright. Front view. Extrude up. Nice. Now I'm gonna select everything, duplicate, top view, please, top view. Alright. Select everything, duplicate, duplicate. And now I'm gonna make a cube. I didn't want to select the leg of the table. I select the cube. I'll put it in the middle and try to scale it up. And I can't because the origin is here. So what I can do is to box select these, move them to the side, then box select these, move them to the side, Then I can box select this, move that here, box select this, and move that here. Front view. Front view. Select the cube, move it up. And I'm gonna press N, location Y. Never mind. Now manually select this for vertices and front view. Now this is a very thick table, guys. Extra thick, but it works. I'm not gonna touch anything this time. I'm not gonna try to smooth it out because yeah, I'm not gonna do that again. Shift C. Okay, now if I bring this back to layer 1, I can combine the two things. Wow, this table is huge. I need to scale it down. Now that's a more reasonable size, in my opinion. I like how this old software looks more like a CAD. Kind of reminds me of the look of a CAD software for some reason. And there we go. Now we have a table, an ugly table in an ugly room, actually in a box. Now let's see if I can model a chair and try to duplicate it a couple of times around the table. Now for the chair, I'm gonna go into the top view again. Gonna make another cube and scale it down. This will be a simple leg of the chair. I duplicate it 4 more times. I'm literally improvising here, guys. I've never tried to do this stuff, so I haven't rehearsed anything. I'm just improvising. Okay, now we should have the legs of a chair. Yeah. I guess I can try to manually connect this. And this. And then this. Okay, it triangulated for some reason, I don't know why. Oh my god, I'm making a mess. Erase. Okay, first of all, these camera controls are super awkward. I'll try to do this again, but this time by using the orthographic views. Orthogonal views, orthographic views. I can just do this 1, 2, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this didn't do what I wanted. Okay, this looks like the Nintendo 64 logo, except it's super broken. So maybe maybe this is how they made the Nintendo 64 logo, by connecting 4 cubes, I guess. No, this is not what I wanted. So it's super limited, because otherwise, like in modern Blender, I will just do something like this. I would scale this cube down. I will go into the top view, and then I will just do 1, 2, 3, 4. Ctrl J to connect, and then I will just put edge loops around. Select all of them, put them up here, and then I will just 1, 2 bridge faces, 1, 2 bridge faces, 1, 2 bridge, 1, 2 bridge, 1, 2 bridge, and that's the base of a chair. But I can't do this in 2.04 because there is no way to make edge loops and move them around, I guess. I'm gonna try with this method one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Front view. Select these. Put them up. Alright. Now, if I could make like an edge loop, a cut here, it would be perfect. But I don't think there are no bubbles. There is no explanation of what these things do. Beauty doesn't do anything. I can maybe just select all of these and just extrude them a bit, and I guess I can have almost the same effect there. Okay. I don't know if I can select faces in this. It would be nice if I could. Proportional vertex editing. Oh, interesting. So there was this thing, the proportional vertex editing, even in 2.04 apparently. A mode, vertex paint. Is there any way I can select? No, I can't. I have to do this like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. F. Ah, of course. I have to build the faces like this. This is quite a puzzle. No cancel, alright. I guess I have to build the faces like this. Now I'm not gonna fill in the faces I can't see. So I'm just gonna fill in these ones. Makes the project a lot more lightweight without useless geometry. Can just do one more, I think. Okay. Now, to fill that, I need to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, yes! Yes, I did it! I did it! I made the base of a chair. There it is. Looks like a stool, but I got this shape. Yeah, that's nice. Making progress in ancient software. That's super cool. Okay, so the numbers just switch layers. Okay, now what I should do is to select these probably, and I'm gonna try to extrude them in the front view. Let's see how this looks like. Maybe there. Oh, perfect. This looks like a chair, guys. We made a low poly chair. That's super cool. There it is. It's a chair, and it's super clean geometry as well. I like this. Now I should just move this to the other layer. So I have to select it and move it to layer 1. Okay, go to layer 1, and there it is. This camera is so weird. It moves in a very weird way. I didn't want to move this. So there is no clear indication of what's selected in this view, but if you use the wireframe, you can see what's been selected. So I guess most of the work in this older version of Blender was done in the wireframe. I'm gonna scale the shape down a little bit. Maybe like this. And I'm gonna try to duplicate it and rotate it. Minus perfect, minus 180. It snaps the grid basically. And let's see if we have nice! I just made a very basic thing in Blender 2.04. Okay, I like this. Let me save. Save is Control W? What? Huh, that's a weird key combination. How do I type? I can't type. Nice. This will be untitled.blend. How do I save? Okay, just... Okay. Nice. Now, I want to try to make some plates to put on the table. I'm gonna try to recreate the first thing I've ever made when I started using this last year. except for this ugly room, because I didn't know how to make rooms yet. I just did this, just used this and made a very bright white background. That was basically my room in Blender 2.83 last year when I made this scene. So I'm gonna try to make now a plate, and I just modeled it once and then I try to duplicate it and place it on either side of the table. So this will be fun. So for the plate, I'm gonna use the same technique I saw yesterday in that video of that guy using Blender 1.0. He made a plate using a circle, and I'm gonna try to use a circle as well. So I'm gonna make a circle, scale it up like this. This will be the base of the plate. Then I go into the side view and I extrude up. A little bit. Okay. Then I extrude it some more. Scale it up a little bit. This is, by the way, how I model plates even in modern Blender. I just start with a circle and I start extruding like this. Oops. And I just do this, and there you go. You have a basic plate. So I'm gonna try to do the same here, basically. Except I wanna try to give it a little bit of thickness. So I'm gonna extrude, but I'm not gonna move it, except instead I'm gonna scale it up a little bit and extrude it down. I'm gonna do this, then I extrude down, and I do this. And we should have a basic plate, let's see. Yep, this looks like a plate to me. So what I can do now is to select all of this and I can fill I can't fill them in, but I can do this. I can extrude them, scale them down. I can just scale them like this. Like, who cares? Okay, there you go. I filled it my way, because why not? And we have a plate, guys. Let's move it to layer 1. We have a huge plate. Now I have to go into the top view in orthographic mode, and I'm gonna scale it down and place it somewhere here. Also on top of the table, of course. And let's see how this looks like. This looks good to me. Yeah, this looks good to me. I mean, we made the plates, we made the chairs, the table. Everything is low poly as it should be, because this is super old. And I guess we will make some glasses just to make this scene a bit more complete. So for the glasses, I'm gonna use the circle again. Gonna make a circle, but not on this view. Gonna make a circle on this view. Scale it down. Bring it up. Scale it up. We make some simple caps like this. Very simple. And also I'm gonna extrude, scale up, move down, extrude, move down, scale down. It's very interesting and good to know and use this old modeling software to have a better practice with your modeling, actually, because you get to make everything by hand in these ones. Like, there are no modifiers and stuff like that. For example, for this, instead of extruding like that down to make the thickness, in Model Blender I would have just made a circle, and I would have extruded up like this, up, and then I would have just used the solidify modifier, and I would have given it some thickness like this. Simple, without having to go down like I did now. So it's very cool actually to use this old software, because you get to make stuff entirely by hand. Though I have no idea how to fill in these gaps, so I'm gonna just extrude them and scale down. And this is probably not how you're supposed to do it, but I mean, it works. It does work, so why not? Let's make this super tiny, and there you go. Looks super good. Now I'm gonna move this to the layer 1. You know, I think that if I played with this a lot more, maybe I would actually be decent at using it. Because I already feel I am a little bit faster than like 20 minutes ago when I started using it. So that's definitely something to consider. I don't know what that means. Just move this here and here. And look at that. It works. I can't believe I just made this in Blender 2.04. If I were to tell the older me when I was a kid and I first tried Blender that one day I might be able to make something on that software that I've never understood at all, I would have probably I wouldn't have believed myself. So yeah, That's already incredible that I managed to make this simple scene in this super old software. And by the way, I can make stuff much better than this in the modern Blender, of course. So something like this, I will probably make it in less than 10 minutes in the modern Blender, very quickly. It's very simple. So now I'm gonna try to remake this here, which is super easy in comparison, for me at least. So I just scale this down. I'm gonna make the table first. I'm gonna scale this down. Actually, I'm gonna use the same shapes. So I'm gonna make the legs with the circles like I did there. So in modern Blender it's much quicker because you can just snap things like this. You can just extrude a little bit, like so. Then you can also fill in these gaps. Now I'm rushing it, of course, but I can obviously remake the same thing a lot quicker here because I have more knowledge about the shortcuts, etc. I can't quite give them the same look, as you can see. This looks more low poly than this, even though this isn't smoothed either. So maybe with some shaders I can do the trick. For the room I just make a plane and I duplicate this, rotate it 90 degrees on the x-axis, and I do this, and we have our basic room set up. Then I will just make a cube for the chair, isolate it so I can model it properly. Now I'm just making the chair. And of course I always forget to join this, but whatever. This is not a speedrun, it's just a quick demonstration that if you can do the one thing on one program, you can also do it on another version of the same program, because why not? Then for the chair I will just bridge this instead. Will make it a lot quicker already, because you don't have to select the vertices and do that stuff. Also it makes a lot more clean topology. And then I just do this. And that's the basic chair, which looks exactly like this. A lot more thinner, skinnier, but it's the same model, at least. And scale it down, maybe. I don't even have to use Orthographic View here, because I can manipulate stuff a lot easier in 3D, in Perspective View. Also scale this up. Now for the plate, how I would model the plate I made in Blender 2.04 in 2.83, I will just use the circle as well. Scale it down, then extrude and okay. I said extrude and scale it up. Okay, we did it. I'm gonna also extrude this furthermore and scale up a little bit more. And then I will give it a little bit of thickness with the solidify modifier. Keeping it low poly, just like the other one. But I can also add some edge loops to refine it a little bit. There, it's a nice plate. And now I would use the snapping on face to snap it on the table. And it didn't work quite well. Whatever. There we go. And then the last thing I made in 2.04 were the two glasses, the two cups, which here I will probably make out of a cylinder. Not from a circle. I will just select this face, make an inset, scale it down, make an edge loop here, select this, scale this up, select this, scale this up, scale this up, scale this down, and then I will just scale everything down a bit. And there you are. There you have basically almost the same cup without even having to use this redefine modifier, because I made it out of a cylinder. I just insetted the top face. And then I will probably also place the camera properly. And I don't know, maybe at this point I will also give it a cool lightening, like this. And yeah, this is pretty much. This is pretty much a proper remake of the very first thing I made in Blender last year when I started using it. And it looks nice and doesn't look bad, it's low poly, and I'm surprised I managed to remake it here in 2.04. Now let's see if the camera... How do I control the camera? Maybe I can split this. Okay. And I can make this to be orthographic top view. Oh, this looks so nice and old. I select the camera and I move the camera. Oh, okay, there we go. So this is how you control the camera in this old version. You just you can just go on the front view and move it up. Okay. It would be nice to have a zoom view, rotating, scaling. It would be nice to have these gizmos, the gizmos you have in basically any 3D software, like, you know, like this. It would be nice to have them, but it's not a thing here apparently. Let's see if I can frame the shot. Oh, nice. That's pretty cool. Now it's all dark because there is no lightning, there is no lamps, there's nothing. I'm gonna try and make a lamp. Oh, so this is how it looks like when I render it. It's super small. I don't know if I can increase the render resolution somehow. Now where is it? 100%, but I don't know how to increase the resolution in this old version here. Enable shadows calculation. It looks pretty much like a PlayStation 1 pre-rendered cutscene kind of graphics. That's super cool. I don't know what the panorama means. Oversampling. Okay, it did some anti-aliasing, I think, but this is too tiny and small. I don't know if I can increase it somehow. Like zoom in. Super small. Render window placement on screen. Yeah, on the other screen. Okay, it can also render on the viewport, and that's much better already. Yeah, the resolution is not the best, I must say. This looks very low quality. Okay, this is how it looks like normally, and this looks exactly like a DOS game. So with this kind of aliasing, this is like a DOS game. It looks super cool. I can crank up the entire aliasing apparently. And it crashed. Nice. Oh no! I lost the table. I lost the plates and the cups because I didn't save. Damn, this doesn't have any auto-saving feature. I should have expected it from an early 2000 program. Anyway, I'm curious of what happens if I try to open this blend file in 2.83. Yes, I'm gonna save this. So I'm curious of what happens if I open up new. What if I open this here? It works! I can actually open up an old Blender 2.04 file in modern Blender. Here we have it, guys. This is what I just modeled in 2.04. and if I hit render, everything actually looks like it looked in the 2.04 version, and even the render is super small. Look at that, it's super small. That's so weird. Let's go with cycles. Oh, this is so weird. Can crank this up. And the render has this tiny ass resolution, like in Blender 2.04. Let me enable the adaptive sampling, and let me also throw some denoising. Where is it? Well, that's super cool. I wonder what resolution this is. 320 by 256. It's so small. Let's go 1920 by 1080. Okay, this is something I just modeled in 2.04, except for the plates and the cars that got lost because the program crashed. But still, it's super cool to see that I made this in a super old version of Blender. Everything has this weird shading, and even the table here looks a lot more low poly than how it would look like if I make it myself. For some reason, or maybe because of this weird shading that I don't know what's actually caused by, because there are no materials here and there is no world. Maybe that could also be a reason. Yeah, that's so cool. I could play with these for hours, guys. Anyway, speaking of playing and working with 3D stuff, I gotta go now, guys. See you tomorrow. I hope to get Spyro 2 to work. Gonna try to my best to get the capture card back up and running. I can't promise anything. Anyway, see you tomorrow, guys. Time to go, unfortunately. And I think I'm gonna play a bit more with this old software off stream, and maybe I'm gonna stream more of these in the future because it's so fun to mess around with old software. Maybe I should try to find some old version of Sony Vegas too, and maybe play with that as well. Some older version of Cinema 4D, maybe older programs that I've never used. That could be useful. That could be very useful to have some practice also. So yeah, see you tomorrow, guys. Bye.